So I know that I said I was going to get this out yesterday, which was Mother's Day, and I hope you guys all had a very awesome Mother's Day. I didn't get this out because we went to my mom's house for Mother's Day very early in the morning for a proper brunch, and what I assumed was going to happen was we were going to be there for a couple hours, and I would have time to come back and, talk to you here before getting the video up. But as is always the case, whenever I go over to my parents' house, we spent the entire day. And we had a great Mother's Day. Got to hang out with my parents, played some board games and some table games with the kiddos, and just generally enjoyed being with the family. So now I hope you guys all had an excellent Mother's Day, but I need to get out the video today that I was going to get out yesterday. So there's the story on that. I will tell you what we are doing today in just a minute, but before I do, hello, I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things, and you are here for day 275 of 365 days of soap. I know that I said the live was 275, but that was day 274. So now we're back on track. And today we're actually doing another toilet balm recipe, which Mr. Soap and Clay got a huge giggle out of during the live when I told him that's what we were doing. But for those of you who are familiar, toilet bombs, they're cool bath bomb-esque things, solid toilet cleaner that you plop into your toilet, and it does the foamy foam and the fizzy fizz and then the cleany clean. We've been testing new recipes with all of this and also showing you the picture of what it does in the toilet. And so this is round 2 of these tests, and honestly I don't know if this is the SCI one or the SLSA one. I have no idea. I filmed both of them same day, and I think I'll release the next one in a few days, but I don't know. Let's go to the video. There is a recipe included with this guy, written down on paper, as is my style, so if you're not into that, sorry, this is what it is. And let's check out the recipe that I came up with, talk about the ingredients, and of course, do the weird test in the toilet. Okay, first up, here's the recipe. 2 cups baking soda, 1.5 cups citric acid, half a cup SCI, also known as sodium cocoyl isocyanate, 1 tablespoon of water, 1 tablespoon of oil, and 1 tablespoon of scent and or essential oils, whatever you'd like to do. So if you notice, there is a difference in toilet balm recipes versus, regular bath bomb recipes, in that I tend to not include cornstarch in these recipes. Now, we'll be doing a deep dive on cornstarch here very soon, mostly because I just want to be catty. But the reason why I don't put cornstarch into toilet cleaner recipes is really because it's not needed. The main reason you put cornstarch into bath bomb recipes is because you want to extend the fizz time of a bath bomb, so there's a longer cool experience. And it's not necessary for something like this. It doesn't need to spend a ton of time actually, fizzing and foaming up. So, not necessary for this, but again, we will talk more about that later. Now, the citric acid will go into the bath bombs or the toilet bombs at the very end, just like with all of my bath bomb recipes, because we want to give you as much working time with the wet bath bomb powder as humanly possible. And as soon as that citric acid hits the recipe, it's binding with the baking soda. It's looking for every little particle of water in there. And if you put it in too early, your mixture is going to get too dry too fast. And we obviously don't want that. So let's go on to the make. Okay, so realistically, the real key player in this is going to be the SCI, which is also known as baby foam because it is a very mild surfactant that most people, except in the cases of extreme, skin sensitivity, have no problem with whatever. Now, what is a surfactant? Well, a surfactant essentially works in that it disrupts the surface tension between like a liquid and a liquid or a liquid and a solid, what have you, allowing the dirt and oil to be easily broken free from whatever it's, connected to and can be cleaned away easily. It's very good as far as cleansing goes. And in a property like this, now typically the SCI has very good lather, like foaming abilities, which is why I'm including it in this toilet bomb recipe. Well, one of the reasons. But usually for the foaming abilities of SCI, it requires some level of friction, right? So just like putting SCI into a bowl of water, for example, you're not going to get excellent, like immediate foam payoff. When you get the foam payoff is when you are working, you're adding friction. So that's why it's in a lot of, baby shampoos and baby skincare products and just, shampoos in general, because you're literally doing that friction by just the actual process of washing your hair or taking a washcloth to the body. Friction. So just sitting there in and of itself, not going to be a big foamer. I think where you would get the friction in something like this and the good foam would be when you take your toilet brush to the toilet itself. And so let's see if I'm right with all of that. Also, SCI, another good reason to include this into a recipe like this would be because it's actually very, very good in hard water. And so we don't know what all of our end users, water situations are and whether they have hard or soft water. But if it's good in hard water, it's also usually reasonably good in soft. So yay, love that for all of us. There is a question for SCI as to whether or not it's natural. And my very honest answer is it depends on what you consider natural. Technically speaking, it's derived from the fatty acid chains of coconut oil and a sulfuric acid or sulfonic acid, which both naturally occur. However, there is a man-made or a man intervention, a human intervention in that to make SCI thing. So depending on your level of, what natural is and how much something can be manipulated or, created from two naturally occurring things, yeah, it's natural or it's naturally occurring or whatever. So that's up to you as to whether or not you count it as natural. I think that goes either way with people's. So do keep that in mind. And for these bath bombs, there's really no difference. The powder is not any more dry or wetter than any other, bath bomb recipe that I've ever given you. So this is actually a really easy one to work with. And just like all of my bath bombs, they do set up overnight and allow them to harden really nicely before I package them and ship them off to the peoples. So there's that. This particular recipe makes 9 of these smaller bath bombs or toilet bombs. And now let's go to my toilet and test one of these guys out. Okay, now on to the test, and apologies for weird lighting. I couldn't get my, I didn't want really to get my light set up in the bathroom. But, there it is. Just drop the whole thing into the toilet and do the thing. And this one actually didn't take as long to fizz out as the last recipe that I did. That one actually ended up taking, I don't know, I would say 4 or 5 minutes in total. And this one, not really as long. I think maybe 3 minutes before I noticed that there were really no more bubbles going on in all of this. But as I said before in the last, video that we did with this, that's kind of perfect timing, like while that's foaming up in the toilet itself, you're spraying everything down and cleaning everything, around the actual bowl itself, the tops of the toilet and the whatever, or maybe you're wiping off your counters or cleaning your mirror or whatnot, the other things that you do while you're cleaning your bathroom. Because I don't know about you, there's never been a day, not a moment, where I have gone to clean my toilet and not cleaned the rest of my bathroom. And my toilet gets cleaned, my toilets get cleaned several times a week, but also so does everything else, because it's one of the dirtier places in the house. You got booties sitting on those things all the time. Anyway, you notice there's still some bubbling going on, but not a whole lot of foaming. And so I wanted to sort of test my theory on all of this and see if the actual using the toilet brush itself does increase the amount of foam that you're going to ultimately see, because again, you're applying that friction in the process of actually cleaning. And another cool aside of the SCI, it is also a very, very gentle, it has a gritty texture to it. So it's very nice to, include this because it has a nice, grit to it that will help get your hard water rings and all of the jazz, taken off, or, you know what I mean. So that's good for it too. And yeah, actually, as I expected, as you start really working this into the bowl itself, the foaming actually ends up being quite a bit more, which is pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie. Once you actually insert that actual friction there, it gets pretty legit. So that's not bad. It's a pretty good option for a toilet bomb. And there's a new recipe for you guys to try. If you do, let me know what you think. But for now, that's day 275, the SCI toilet bombs. And there it is, another toilet bomb recipe and, test. And we've done so far, the very first one that I gave you guys like a year ago or whatever had the soap nut extract and a liquid soap concentrate. Great recipe, can be hard to work with. So that's kind of why we're doing this. This last recipe that I gave you had the soap nut powder in it. And this one is going to be another alternative for sure. We've got some nice bubblers as well as, a nice cleaning agent. And so this is another option for sure. I'm still not 100% sold on this level of foam though. I think we can do better. So we are going to be doing another one in a few days. As I said, we will be releasing that one and you'll get the recipe for that too. And you can see the fizzy foaming awesome action of that. So there's that. Yes, if you are interested in seeing that recipe, go ahead and subscribe and click the bell and do the things so you're notified. And that would be awesome. For those of you who have done all those things, hey, Sudsers, you're awesome. I hope you guys had a great weekend, time with your family, doing all the things, and you guys are enjoying your week so far. It's Monday, and so, we've got just a nice downhill to the weekend again from here on out. Yes, I am out of here for today. I actually need to go mud some drywall and, get my behind in action for the never-ending home remodel. So I will see you guys all again tomorrow for another round of soapy fun. Bye.